This is one of the questions that I get asked most of the time. Why Korea? What made you come to Korea? What brought you to Korea? Why did you come to Korea? So today I'm going to talk about what brought me to Korea. Let's get started. Many of you guys don't know me. I was born in Paris. I'm originally from Senegal, which is West Africa, Dakar, which is just below Morocco. For those of you who don't know, we're very famous for soccer and great food and hospitality. So I live in Paris, and then I grew up between the two cultures, and my parents are both from Senegal. And then like I said, born in Paris, I studied in Paris, and then I moved to New York. So when I moved to New York, I stayed there for 10 years ish, and I studied, I worked, and then I came to Korea. And now I'm in Korea now, and it's been 5 years. So what brought me to Korea? Why Korea? So it all started with Japan. I know, I know. Don't ask me why. I don't know how to, I'll explain like how the transition happened, but it's just the way it is. So what had happened was, growing up, so I have two little brothers, right? And younger, we were watching a lot of Japanese animation, manga and all this stuff. So we love those. Like up to today, we all like, the whole like One Piece and Naruto and Bleach and Fairy Tale. And I mean, there are so many, but I'm giving you like the OG. But like, anyways, so we were always like surrounded by this culture of like Japanese animation. So I was always fascinated by Asian culture to begin with. So I always wanted to be like, okay, I'm going to move to Japan. I want to live in Japan. I want to work in Japan. So, of course, number one on the list was the US. I wanted to move to New York no matter what, and I did. So I moved to New York and I lived there. I found my job, and then I had my apartment, and then my brother joined me. So yada, yada, yada. But while I was in New York and I was studying, so I was studying at LaGuardia College. Then I took classes also at NYU. So what was my thing with me was always the languages. I love languages. So I studied, when I was in high school, I studied German, English, Spanish, Latin. Yeah. And then when I moved to New York, I was like, okay, now I want to dive into the Asian languages. So I studied with Japanese. And then from the Japanese classes, I discovered a lot of Korean American who wanted to learn Japanese. And through them, I was like, oh, okay. Like I wasn't literally not aware of Korea like that. Like I was just like, I think very ignorant. And, I'll say it, I was ignorant. I was just thinking like North Korea and then not much about Korea as itself in terms of South Korea. So, um, from the Japanese drama, from the Japanese animation, I moved into Japanese dramas. And for me, a big thing, I'm a musician, I'm a singer. So I love anything related to music, and it speaks to my soul. So when I was watching those Japanese drama, like their OSTs, their soundtrack was just like, oh my God. I was just like, oh my God. I fell in love literally with that, and that's what made me watch more and more Japanese drama. It's not necessarily because of the story or because of the acting or the actresses or actors. It's just the music literally draw me in. So then there was this drama, Japanese drama called Hana Yori Dango. And if you guys are into dramas or Japanese drama, I definitely recommend that one. It's a really good one. So I watched that one, and I loved it, And then as I was doing more research, the people were saying that, and at that time, now we have Netflix and all that, but like I was using like, those like website where you download stuff. And then I was also using Drama Fever back in the day. So then when people were saying, oh, Hana Yoridango had a lot of adaptations, right, in different countries. And people were saying like the Korean version was really good. So I was like, okay, let me take a look. So I took a look because, I really love that drama. So I was like, the Japanese version was great to me. So if people say the Korean version is just as good, if not better, I want to see it. So I looked at the Korean version and oh my God, the music got me. Like for me, it's not. I'm sure most of the people are drawn by either the acting or the story or the actors, how good looking they look, or the actresses and the skin or whatever. For me, it was the music, literally. Like the soundtracks were just like, oh my God, like the strings, the piano, the voice, the melody, like everything like spoke to me in terms of I want to know more. And that's how I started my journey to Korean drama, right? But that's not what really drew me completely in Korea. I was just like, okay, I love Korean drama, period, right? I was still on this idea like, I'm going to go to Japan, I'm going to move to Japan, I'm going to work to Japan. But what had happened was my friend started from the Japanese classes, my Korean friends started like bringing me to K Town. So, if you guys know, if you live in New York or if you live in the US, like, in LA, they have a K Town, a Koreatown. And New York, they have a Koreatown on 32nd Street, which is literally right across Macy's. And then very close to, there is a big Sephora as well. So I'm, I'm going to the K Town and I'm just blown away because first of all, that's literally that K Town is like maybe 2 blocks. That's this like because then later on I went to the K Town in LA and I was like, what is that insignificant K Town that we have in New York? But still, it was 1 block, but a very efficient block because you had Paris Baguette, Tous les jours, you had the barbecue place, you had um, the beauty, the face shop. So of course, ignorant that I saw Paris Baguette. I'm like, oh, there's a French bakery here, which was not true. Paris Baguette is 100% Korean. So I go into the face shop, which is just a beauty store, and I'm just blown away because I just see tons and tons and tons of sheet masks, which, you know, is not really popular like that at that time, but people starting, getting into it, I'm guessing, but it's not something you see at the Sephora, which is literally like 2 blocks away. So I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm getting into this thing. And then, I was watching a lot of Korean drama already by that time. So I see like the actresses in the drama putting their mask sheet on and be like, oh, it's time to go to bed. Like, let me do my mask sheet or whatever. And I'm just like, that's what it is. Like, the secret to their like amazing skin. And then another thing that happened was I saw the ingredients. And I'm just like, who use snail on their skin? Or who uses like, mugwort? Or, I'm discovering like all these new ingredients and I'm just like, But I'm not questioning it. I'm just curious about it because I know from what I've seen already that it works. Like people, like I've seen the result of their skin and I'm just like, wow, we really don't know what's going on in that beauty industry. So I'm starting like buying this stuff, testing it, loving it, and trying to be like, oh my God, people really don't know about it. So I'm starting to like to talk about it, doing more research about it. I'm starting to go to Flushing in New York because the Flushing is bigger, right? It's like Asian communities. So they have more access to the product. Like the face shop is literally just one shop in that street. So then I'm just like, okay, now I'm motivated to, dive more into Korea. Like I'm like, ooh, the beauty industry, the Korean drama, and then the music comes in, the K-pop. So I was never really 100% K-pop fan. Like I was more like literally I was not attracted by the K-pop part. I was attracted by the hip hop part because obviously I love American hip hop. I love French hip hop. I love Senegalese hip hop, but I never thought I would love Korean hip hop. Like the flow is just sick. Like the way they deliver their melodies, I'm just like, ooh, like so that's what get me. Like I was watching like Show Me the Money, like all the Show Me the Money. And yeah, so that's how I got into the culture, right? And then in 2015, my brother, my youngest brother, who he works like he's a picture of him right now. Yeah, I know he's really good looking, but he travels all the time, right? So he goes to Bali, Indonesia, Mexico, like Cuba, and whatever. So I'm just like, okay, this is really nice, but whenever you go to Asia, like to Japan, especially Japan. If you go to Japan, let me know because you cannot go to Japan without me. Like we grew up watching this together, so you cannot go by yourself. And he said, yeah, okay. If we go, I'll let you know. And then that year, 2015, around the summer, he's like, oh, we're thinking about going to Asia next summer. I'm like, I'm in. I'm going. So then on December, on that winter, like he's like, okay, we're gonna go this summer, which is 2016, summer 2016. I'm like, okay, I'm going, and I'm in New York, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going. I'm ready. I'll meet you there. We can go there. So we're starting planning, right? But I'm already deep inside the Korean culture, the K beauty, the K drama, and whatever. So I told him, please, why don't we just do Japan and Korea at the same time? So for him, that was so random because obviously he doesn't know about the whole Korea thing, right? But since he loves to travel anyway, he's like, yeah, sure, that works. Let's go to Korea. So we planned for Japan, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and then Seoul. So what we did is we did 3 weeks and 3 weeks, something like that. We first came to Korea. We stayed in Korea, then we went to Japan, and then we came back to Korea. And then he left. And then I stayed. So the goal was to go back to Paris, but I was like, I loved Korea so much that I was just like, oh, I'm gonna stay in Korea and like just do a semester and like perfect my Korean. So when we got to, and at that time, I was not deciding, oh, I'm going to stay in Korea no matter what. I was literally, my goal ultimately was to go to Japan. But I got to Korea and then Korea got the best of me, like with all those beauty stores and beauty products. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the place to be. This is heaven. But at the same time, I was like, okay, let me stay in Korea. Let me experience what it's like to live in Korea because we all know living in Korea, or doesn't matter which country, but living in a country and visiting a country are two different things, right? So I decided to kind of stay for 3-4 months, experience, see how it's like living here, and also define what I would do if I would live here, if I would move here. So ultimately, it was all about beauty because I was so excited about everything that those beauty products were doing. And the more I was using them, like my skin got. I didn't have really like issues with my skin, but my skin just got better. Like it's just Korean beauty products, period. So I was just like, oh my God, I wish people knew about this product. That was my thing. I felt like Korea had so much to offer in terms of beauty products and beauty industry and beauty innovation that I wanted other people, other women of color, other Black women to be able to be like, oh, because I was sure. Because even when I was in New York, nobody knew about it. Like in my circle, like if I had not mentioned it. So I was just like, I want people to know about it. This is pretty awesome, guys. Like you guys need to test these products. And that's what got me to focus on the key beauty aspects. And that's how the whole concept came into, okay, let's come back to Korea and work into that. So my goal became to kind of spread awareness on key beauty. And that's how I started my journey here in Korea. So I set the 4 month. I went back to Paris. I stayed for 1 year. I worked for Dior, and then I came back to Seoul, and then I started my journey into trying to build my company, figure out what I was going to do, how to navigate the system as a Black woman in Korea, trying to open a business. And yeah, and that was it. So I think that's about it. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so that was it for now. So now let's move on to Korean dramas. As you guys know, I watch a lot of dramas. I already said it. I'll probably said it a lot of time. I watch like 400 plus Korean dramas at this point. And the drama I want to talk about today is Love Featuring Marriage and Divorce. So what had happened was, thanks to Netflix now, we have access to a lot of Korean drama. I mean, you guys have access to a lot of Korean drama. I've been watching Korean drama since like, Drama Fever, and then Vicky came in, and then, all these websites where you can like find Korean drama with the subtitles and stuff like that. But then Netflix really brought it like to everybody globally, which is awesome, amazing, So now my sister is just like, oh my God, I just discovered like Itaewon Class. It's so amazing. I'm just like, yeah, I've been telling you guys that Korean drama were awesome, but nobody's listening to me. You guys think I'm a freak. So let's talk about this drama. Love Featuring Marriage and Divorce. So you know why I want to talk about this? Because first of all, that's a very recent drama, and there is a new season that is about to come. I don't know when, I don't have the date, but this drama has been going on since January 2021. And this is one of those drama that you love to hate. Why? Because this drama has nothing going on for so many episodes, like literally so many episodes. So you're into it. So before I start, Korean drama are getting into this concept of, I don't know, I've seen a lot of this topic, like, marriage and cheating and this stuff like that. So we see more and more of this like kind of drama style. So this one was really the concept. The story is about three couples, and then each spouse is either tempted to cheat or is cheating, literally. So I'm watching this drama, and trust me guys, if you guys watched it, please let me know in the comment below, because I want to know what everybody's thinking about it. And you start watching it, episode 1 and 2 and 3, and it's pretty, it's not like the fast-paced kind of drama. It's like really like, da 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 da, right? So you're watching, and then you're to episode 10, and because you start watching it, it's not like super captivating, but like you want to know what's gonna happen, So you're watching and you're watching, but it takes time for stuff to happen, right? And then you get to the point where you're like 11, 12, and then nothing exciting is happening, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna drop this drama. But usually Korean drama have 16 episodes, right? So you might, okay, I already watched 12 episodes, I might as well like finish like the 4 episode, right? And oh my God, it's literally at the end of the 16 episode that like it's super active in terms of like stuff happening, which happens before in other dramas. But this one, like for some reason, like I felt like, oh my God, like now I want to know what's going on next week. It's like, usually it's like this drama you're watching and you have to wait 2 episodes weekly, and then you have to wait next week. So I could totally watch this drama and like have not being impatient and be like, oh my God, I need to see like next episode, like right now. I was not like that with that. But literally towards the end, it gets like that. And then you finish the season, and then it's like, oh my God. And you like, wait, there's a second season. I had no idea. I don't know if people knew, but I think like a lot of us didn't know when we started watching that. And then you just like, oh my God, I just like wasted like such energy just to watch this. But now I want to know what's going to happen in the second season, right? So you're waiting for the second season. And same thing happened in the second season. Can you believe that? In the second season, it's similar. So you're watching the second season, but I have to say the second season was way better than the first season, right? So you're watching, it's all about cheating and stuff like that. You want to know who's gonna get caught, people who getting caught and stuff like that, fights. And again, the season finished. I was just blown away by the last 5 minutes of the drama. I'm just like, wait, wait a second, what just happened right now? Like, no, like nobody saw that coming. Like nobody. If there is one person who saw that ending coming, please, I wanna see it in the comment below because I'm pretty sure nobody saw that coming. And then I'm just like, okay, again, we have to wait for the third season. So my what I'm saying about this drama, I think you guys should just watch it because at this point, season 1, season 2, season 3 is coming. I think that season 3 will be the last one. I'm hoping. But it's a very interesting drama. The writer, her name is Phoebe. That's her English name. Phoebe made it. At first, I was just like, what is the writing of this drama? Like, it's so slow, but then at the same time, you're just like, oh my God, I want to know until the end of the season. And you're just like, oh my God. But then everything, when I'm watching the season 2, everything was done in a very, very smart way. That writer, kudos. Yeah, because, and then that became one of the highest rated drama on the channel it was broadcasted, which was a TV Chosun. So my last word for this drama, watch it. I want to know what people who watched it, I want to know what they thought about it. Do you guys relate to what I just said? Or do you think like that was totally different from what you guys felt? Like, I want to know. Please write below. And then regarding everything I said about my coming to Korea, I want to know what brought you guys to Korea. I'm very curious to not necessarily what brought you to Korea, but how you get into Korea or how you get into Korean culture. I'm sure that there are similarities into what I just said. So I would love to know. And I think that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it was, I hope it was interesting. Next week, we'll talk about how I started the business, how I opened it. And then I'll talk about one of my favorite all-time drama. It's an old drama, but I think it's a little controversial because some people don't like that drama, but I love that. I love that drama. So I'll tell you more about it next week, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys.